Well, welcome back to another video from the Veg Grower Podcast. Now this week, trying something slightly different in the hope that it's going to help me be able to produce some more videos. So let's find out what I've been up to over this last week. My name's Richard and I am on a mission to grow as much food as I possibly can. On my allotment and modern Victory garden, we have plenty of land in which to achieve this. And this is my video diary. Well, today I have a rather large pile of willow branches that I cut off from a willow tree last week that I need to dispose of. So what I'm doing is just running it through the shredder to get some really nice chopped up wood chips. They'll be great for the composting. One of these jobs that I used to use a lawnmower to chop everything up, but I invested in a shredder last year and I found the shredder to be a bit more noisy, if I'm honest, but does the job quite nicely and, more importantly, gets the result that I'm looking for. Right, so I'm going to crack on and get more of this done, then I've got to have a bit of a clean up and a tidy up ready for tomorrow. Well, today I've got out of the garden, out of the allotment, and I came up to Birmingham to the NEC for Gardener's World Live Special Edition. Came to this a couple of years ago, really enjoyed it. Back again this time after all this COVID. So let's go see what we can find out around here today. One of the show gardens here is called Nature's Resilience Zoo. It's been created by Lisa, Mary, I can't pronounce the surname, so I'm not even going to try, Sam and Joe, who I know and have met many times before. And I've been lucky enough that I'm actually stood inside their garden, away from the public, to have a good nose around. And what I'm loving here is we've got a lot of herbs being used to line the hedges or broken into the path, as well as a good mix of marigolds, echinacea, even some grasses, opening up to this small courtyard. It doesn't feel cramped, with plenty of pots and plants growing in the pots. Fantastic to see and great little garden. Well, I've been here for about 2 hours now and the show is really getting quite lively. Lots of people turning up. Well, I decided it's time to grab some lunch. I did have breakfast this morning, left so early. And I thought also, good time before the restaurants get a bit busy. So I got some scampi and chips with a nice latte for £11. So all good there. Right, well, I am finished at Gardener's World for this year. A really great day out, I've got to say. Nice to catch up with people. I've seen Nigel, Muddy Boots, Sol, Lucy, Lisa, quite a few people, Neil from Veggie-Pod, lots of people I haven't seen for a long time. So it's been great to catch up with them, see how they're doing. Ended up spending way too much money, bought myself a new pair of welly boots, a couple of Venus fly traps because I like my carnivorous plants, and came away with some mulch. So plenty to keep me busy, and really enjoyed the day out. Just now it's time for the 3-hour drive home. Well, today I'm cutting back this, I don't know what it is. It grows over from my neighbours, and it does get quite big. I don't mind it personally. It's a great source of compost material, green material. So this will get chopped up and go in our compost bins and provide us, of course, with compost for next year. But that's what I'm doing today. Now tomorrow, being Sunday, I'm hoping to go down to the allotment. Well, I'm down on the allotment today, and I've spent a couple of hours down here. I'm on call, so I haven't had a huge amount of time to spend on the allotment today as I would have liked, but next weekend will make up for it. Today, if you've heard the podcast, you would hear that I've been talking about my struggle with the allotment this year. Everything's been against me. Busy at work, the weather, the weeds are growing like mad, and a lot of the plants haven't done as well or have died far too early. So what I've decided to do is that I'm starting to put my allotment to bed for the winter. Now, I still garden throughout the winter, but what I mean is that where I've got empty beds, I'm covering over with cardboard. Now, I'm using cardboard because it will biodegrade down into the soil eventually, and I can always cover over the top with compost as part of the no dig routine. But also it's free and I can get plenty of it. But what I've found is by laying it in 3 thick layers, it works very well at subduing the weeds for the time being. So I'm happy with that. In another area where I've had to remove the tomato plants after blight, what I've done with that is I've covered it over with the black weed suppressor membrane. But not wanting to waste the space, what I've done is I've placed pots of some squash plants on top of those. One, to weigh the weed suppressor membrane down, but also so it's still growing, so it's still producing some sort of food, as a way, I guess, of trying to not waste the space, still produce food, but also make it a bit more low maintenance for me for the time being. Then I followed that up with harvesting some potatoes, which I'm going to be having for my dinner tonight, and we've also got a couple of peppers and chilies. Not gone too mad on harvesting today because I've got plenty of time in which I can harvest what's left. Now over the winter we're going to be putting in new beds down here, which is why I'm starting to think about it already, starting to clear the areas, starting to buy the wood in, but that'll be coming up in the future. Very happy with this sweet corn, I've got to say though. This sweet corn is just growing really well and even producing some nice looking sweet corn. Right, well that's it for today. Tomorrow is a bank holiday Monday, so hopefully we can do a bit more tomorrow. Look at these delicious yellow raspberries. Going to be picking those in just a moment. But that's brought this video up to the end of the week and what I've been up to throughout this growing week. Let me know in the comments what you've been doing yourselves, and if you've had any successes and failures and all that sort of thing. If you want to find out more about what I've been up to throughout this week and more about my visit to Gardener's World, then you can hear it on this week's podcast, episode 412, available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, etc, etc. It's quite a good one if I do say so myself. This coming Sunday we of course have my live show, which is a weekly show that I do, and this week we are talking about seed saving. So the idea behind that, everyone shares their little tips or their little secrets to seed saving, and it'd be great to hear from you yourselves. That's this Sunday, the 5th of August, September even, 2021 at 6 p.m. UK time. Right guys, take care. I'll speak to you all again next time.